Yeah.
Don't put it in the little disclaimer. Big sign, pre-order, because you'll have customers that will be very malicious and be like, yeah, I ordered it, and try ruin your reputation. Try protect it as much. Obviously, you can't have a 99. There's always going to be one that's not happy with your customer service.
Yeah.
Understand that. Try your best to make that 1% happy. But generally, communicate, be clear with who you're selling to. Let them know what the process is.
Yeah.
And update them.
What's going on, people, and welcome back to the Blackprint, providing aspiring black entrepreneurs and business owners the blueprint to start your success story. I'm your host, Darren, and today I am joined, again, guys, this is another extra special guest. Last week we had an extra special guest. Today we've got another extra special guest. But before we get into that, if you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's grow the Blackprint community. If you're listening on Apple Music, please, as always, guys, 5-star rating, please. I just want to grow on the charts as much as possible organically. All right, guys, please give me that 5-star rating. And also drop a comment. Let me know what you like and don't like about the podcasts. Right. Goodman Malik.
Don't know.
We're back.
Yeah. Back again.
Guys, again, so I shot an episode yesterday, as I told you, obviously, which is a re-record. Guys, so Goodman Malik has very kindly agreed to come back and re-record the episode, which I unfortunately lost, and this one I'm not going to lose. We're going to make sure we keep hold of every piece of
How
footage.
soon are you uploading this straight away?
Bro, don't worry.
Cool.
I'm patted now. Don't worry.
Already on YouTube?
You won't catch me slipping.
Cool.
You will not catch me slipping. But hey, what are you telling me, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed. God is great. Can't complain.
Indeed. Your new year started off right?
Yeah, it's, obstacles as usual. But I love challenge. I love things that I have to figure out. I love fixing things. So, yeah, it's been an enjoyable year. Despite, obviously, the circumstances we're in. I've got used to it now. Not even I've gone past that. Well, I think I had left that stage of my life before where it's like, okay, cool, I'm complaining about anything. Is what it is, different rules, same day. You know what I mean? Just have to find a different, you need to find different skills to, overcome obstacles. So,
Yeah, no, I think that's a very good mentality, man. Especially as a lot of people obviously use the new year to kind of, new year, new me, and New Year's resolutions and all that. But I think if you can just remain constant and just every day take it as it comes, and I think that's a very important mentality to have. But talking about New Year's resolutions, did you set yourself any?
I don't do any.
You know what? A couple of people said that now.
Yeah, to be honest, when I was doing it before, it was more like a conforming thing.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what we do. But now I've kind of, because I feel like I'm at the stage where it's like if I do small steps good, then the whole overall picture will look good. So that's where I'm at. I think if I just make sure I try complete things daily, not let things drag on to the next day, finishing tasks there and then, or setting yourself a time to do it and so on. So I think more of anything, I've just prayed for, guidance, protection, wisdom, stuff that will guide me through life. People that are negative, I kind of spot it out and kind of withdraw myself from that energy.
Bad energy, stay far away.
Yeah, exactly that. And just, I think, if anything, just desiring efficiency in what I do, so I have more time to do the stuff I love. Yeah. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I think I was saying in yesterday's one as well that I feel like I'm going to stop doing New Year's resolutions myself because 2 weeks into the year I'm just like, about this resolution.
I think even with the podcast, and you see how you're just looking at one episode at a time. You could smash out one episode at a time. By the time you've got 1,000 episodes. Yeah. And you're on some Joe Rogan hype, getting sponsored by Spotify. That's how it really happens. There's no, I don't know. I don't think there's some special like luck that happens. I think if you do the small things great, then the overall picture will become great. So yeah.
No, it's facts. It's facts. Well, thank you once again for coming down. I appreciate that greatly, man. I think you guys don't know how much it means to me, man. Because one thing I hate is just wasting people's times, and I feel like
there's no time wasted. I learned a lot that day as well. I think that was the first interview I've ever done.
Yeah, I remember you saying actually, yeah.
And this is technically still the first interview I've ever done. So, like, I'm learning something from it. So I really appreciate that you invited me to be on this.
No, that's great, man. All right, well, cool. Guys, Goodman Malik here founded or co-founded a very good, very popular, growing male grooming company, should I say, called the Goodman Factory.
Yeah, number one.
Number one. Yeah. There you go. So, Goodman Malik, if you could kindly just run us through a little introduction as to who you are and how you co-founded Goodman Factory.
Well, I'm a human being. I'll say I have an obsession for entrepreneurship. I haven't probably taken a risk back in the day as much as possible, but I love being an entrepreneur. I love creating businesses. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I want a long-term, just keep growing businesses. I don't know, I'm a brother. I'm a son. What else? Yeah, what else about me? I like tech. I love tech, actually. I'm very tech. I'm even thinking, I'm going to put it out now. I'm even thinking of starting to do tech reviews, actually.
Nice. There you go.
In my spare time,
Guys, watch out for that YouTube channel.
But I think more about
exclusive. You heard it here first.
I literally saying it to myself the other day. I was like, I buy so much of these tech. Like, I like Apple products and stuff like that. And I was thinking, why don't I do reviews myself? Like, watch so many review videos. Like, I could watch like 100 videos before I even make a purchase.
I actually watch a lot of those types of videos. Even we were just discussing the camera that I'm using over here. And bro, if you saw my YouTube history, the amount of videos I was watching on this one camera, this one camera before
people's
do you get what I mean?
And then you know what makes it worse? Your experience is always unique to you. So then there's always that you have a unique selling point of selling your review to people and seeing it from your perspective. There's always a niche that I like you. So I definitely one day I'm definitely gonna do it this year. Once I have the time and just sit down and say, and let me start reviewing products and so on. So
I remember the last time we were having this conversation, as in when we were sat in this format, and I mentioned to you that this podcast I had the idea for a year before I started, and you said, "Oh, if you had known that, you wouldn't have let me wait a year."
That's why I'm putting it out here on this podcast, because now it's like I've put like social pressure on myself, and I think that's a good thing.
There you go. So I'm going to be checking in.
I'm going to start practicing doing that.
Nice.
And expect a DM from me very soon, and just like, "Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel.
Nice.
Thank you for watching."
Now you know what as well, right? It's like as you said, you've probably noticed this yourself as well. I've watched so many YouTube tech videos, right? But I mean, I'm trying to think of. I don't think I've seen one black guy from the UK.
Yeah, from the UK. I haven't.
Yeah, from the UK. America.
There's literally America. There's I think Marquise Brownlee. Your average consumer. Those two really dominate it.
Yeah, they've gotten clear.
But like honestly, I generally think there's a space. I'm obviously with the internet. One thing I've realized, you always have to think global because you're competing with everybody. We're not just competing with people in the UK or Europe. We're competing with people in Africa, America, Asia. So we kind of have that mindset when it comes to approaching the business. But like it's very they're the only two that I've seen do it. But there's going to be more. Join them eventually soon.
And Goodman Malik is going to be up there with them, speaking it into existence from now. So I'm going to hold you to that. So good luck with that. And so talk to me about or just briefly tell us about the venture that you do have currently going on, which is obviously what we're here talking about, the Goodman Factory.
Yeah, Goodman Factory, we do men's grooming products. We also run a podcast. There's two sides to it at the moment where we have the entertainment, well, I wouldn't even say entertainment side, I would say safe space side where men talk about mental health in a safe space, expressing different views, giving the public a view on what goes on in a man's brain, because most men don't talk. I realized that meeting other people from other walks of life. So, like for example, me meeting you in uni, so and so, like we're all going through our own personal dramas, but we don't necessarily feel like we have this ego that stops us from talking about it, and then in turn doesn't allow us to heal and progress. So it was a thing that I knew that, okay, I definitely need to serve my people in this way, in which that, okay, cool, how can I get men talking and so on. So it's still a very uphill challenge because most of our listeners are women. But
Oh, really?
obviously, yeah, a lot of our listeners are women. But we're still trying to practice that. And even if it's not a thing where men are just overtly talking out there, like talking their emotions, they're talking to somebody. You know what I mean? I think that's a good first step, because I was graced with the opportunity to have an uncle that I speak to him about anything and anything. And it's a place where there's no shame. So it's more being able to express how you feel, reducing the way, because I think most men, from my personal experience anyway, is we like to internalize a lot, and that creates thoughts and imaginations that don't even exist, and builds up a lot of anxiety. So it's very important that men have an outlet to at least to one person, if you're not going to actually have that conversation with everybody else. So that's what the podcast side of it. And then on the men's grooming side, it's about taking care of yourself, self-care, self-love. It's crazy how like a lot of people are like, oh, my beard is this way, that way, boom, boom, boom. Okay, what do you put on it? Oh, nothing. How's your diet? Do you drink a lot of water? You know what I mean? So it's all of these things where I'm trying to, like, the platform is to engage, educate men, make them self-aware about themselves so they could be the best version of themselves, and in the grand scheme of things, to become a good man. So yeah,
good man, nice. I like that a lot. And the podcast, for people listening to this, definitely check out that podcast as well, because obviously I've listened to a good few episodes now, and it is they are very good, also insightful conversations in terms of, and obviously relatable as well.
yeah.
It's an interesting point you made just now about how most of your listeners are female, though, and that's very good.
What we kind of tend to happen was a lot of people DM in us saying thank you, like women that have like older sons, like 16, 17, because you already know that there's that in between age of life where you start to realize that you're kind of alone in this thing, this journey called life, and the same type of energy, like, I don't know if obviously for women it's a bit different because you have your girl groups and that, but with mandem it's like you get left. Like, that's just how it is. You could be part of me if you ain't making a certain amount of money, or if you're not in a certain place, more time, unless they're real genuine friends, like, you'll get left. And then you're in a lonely spot, and then you're in a different crowd, and then you have to adapt and so on. So I think it's more kind of like being able to translate that moment in a teenager's life. Also, not just in teenager, as an adolescent, as a young adult, as in finishing uni, as in the workspace, as a father, all of these things. It's not really teaching you to do something, but also being understand that you're not alone in how you feel, and we could work together to make this happen. So that's why for me, I always use the term community, and that's what Goodman Factory is. It's a community of men trying to progress themselves and being accountable of how they feel inside. And it's not wrong to feel the way you feel. So,
no, that's good. Like I said, people definitely check out that podcast, because it's a very good listen, very insightful, and like you said, the community aspect of it as well. No, good stuff. Keep that one up. I like that. That's good content, man. Good content. And so, how old then? Let's talk about the Goodman Factory as the business then, and Malik as the serial entrepreneur.
Yeah.
How old is Goodman Factory?
Goodman Factory is a year and 3 months.
Okay. And actually, before we get onto that, so You said obviously you like starting up businesses and stuff like that. Have you set up businesses before Goodman Factory?
Yeah.
Okay, so talk to me about some of those then.
My first business was when I was in secondary school. It was a young enterprise scheme, and it was a challenge actually. So we ended up getting into printing T-shirts, printing mugs, printing CDs on machines and selling it. We had like a team of like I think like 12 people. It was like poorly. We probably left the business for like 30 quid. Like we're talking about McDonald's money type of thing. But it was a good experience because that was my first hand experience in managing people's expectations. It was actually kind of like when I think about it, it's like there was so much challenges that I didn't embrace at the time, but it was like, right, like you actually had a boardroom, we had 11 people at the table. You get me? We had to vote for things.
Yeah.
We presented different opportunities. Yeah, like that was an exciting point. I knew from then I wanted to be on. I actually kind of knew previously, but just because my father was an entrepreneur as well. He had his own business, and I used to go with him to work. He used to own a marble company where they cut marble and do designs. Things have changed now. People don't use marble often in this country. It's very expensive. But seeing the space he had, the freedom he had, he was either he comes home to eat, I'll bring him food that my mom made. He would work in the office. I just loved that freedom. And that's basically what I've forged for myself now moving forward. That I'm literally, that those early parts of my life has kind of forged how my life has gone. So from doing the t-shirt business, I got into like buying and selling stuff like eBay transactions, like trainers. I did that before. I've just always found ways to flip stuff, just flip stuff. If there's an opportunity, I'll buy. The other day, I almost did this, but I should have, to be honest, but I didn't have the time to. I saw some juicers at Lidl that are going for like 35 quid. They're going for £60 online. So I would literally, like that's how my mind works when it comes to it.
Cheeky bit arbitrage.
Yeah. And then from there, I had a marketing agency, worked in a marketing agency, learned a lot about selling, learned a lot about communicating with your community, your audience, building a brand. That was a great time as well. We had an office space, and I left that. And then from there, fast forward, I was in a confusing space because I wasn't sure, but I always knew I wanted to do the men's grooming side. By the grace, how the stars aligned, I met my business partner, Rizzy, and he already had the name. The name was perfect. I was like, yeah, that's it. Cool. Like, where do we start? Percentage, let's make it happen, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
We went straight down the middle and started the business, and I've never looked back. It's been one of the best decisions I made in my life.
Yeah, no, nice. And so what kind of lessons from obviously the early age of secondary school in the young enterprise through to the other businesses that you kind of started, marketing and all that, up until Goodman, would you say, what kind of lessons along that way would you say you've learned? And are you still running any of them?
So I'm at the moment I'm only running two businesses, and that's my media side and Goodman Factory. The lessons I could say I've learned from it is you have to do a lot of things you don't like to get the things you want out of it. I didn't like being like the owner of any of these businesses because me and I had to be very responsible. And I didn't develop the skills early enough to say, okay, cool, I could micromanage managers and so on. So I wasn't at that stage. I was still fairly young in entrepreneurship space. But the anxiety and that, you kind of have to battle with that and trust yourself. I've become more like spiritual and connected with God just to kind of, and that's really helped a lot because it's kind of given me this perspective where it's like, whatever happens. It's like it was never ever going to go either way. It's going to be great. There's either a lesson going to be learned from this, or I've learned the lesson and I'm going to execute very well. But ultimately, the aim is always to try and execute and manifest these things to happen. And if it's the time that it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So I think through the journey, what I've realized is like from when I was young then was kind of just understand that you don't like doing it at that moment, but it's gonna help in the grand scheme of things. So I used to work in a bookies, and that was mainly customer service. Those things have helped me communicate with my community a lot more better than if I didn't have it. I hated it at the time, but I'm so happy I've done it.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I had that team when I was in school. I'm so happy I've had businesses that have failed. I'm so happy I've lost money in businesses. I'm so happy about all the negative things that happen because now I'm at Goodman Factory, and I'll say we're pretty much a very lean company. We're very efficient. We don't have a lot of people. We have a few freelancers that work with us and partners and contracting, but we're such a lean and profitable business that all these experiences and past stuff that's happened to me has contributed to this fact, and this ain't even the end. So I can imagine what's in the future is going to be very beautiful. So yeah, I feel like embracing all the hard work, embracing all the L's, the crying, the sad points, the low points, really embracing those ones, appreciate those as much as you appreciate the good days. And yeah, that's one thing I would say I probably learned throughout the whole course. That's been the main thing. I think the second thing will be applying your will. It's all good learning. We both went to uni. We both did the same courses. We graduated everything. So we got the knowledge. The will, you start to realize it's like a whole different ball game. It's a whole different curriculum. And having to just wake up, you know what I mean? I have to will myself to wake up. And that's where you have to kind of find motivation in stuff that, you know what I mean, you don't like. You know what I mean? So that's definitely one thing like I've definitely carried through my life, like learning how to improve that will part of myself, just willing myself to do things all the time, executing. That's why instead of me to make one big overall goal, I'll just do day by day tasks. Okay, I have to finish these 3 videos. I need to make sure I post. I need to make sure I've done these deliveries. Okay, cool. Let me break it down into day by day, day by day, day by day. And then if anything, if that is an issue, then you kind of set parameters that will give you enough time. So let's say, for example, you can't do all of those things by day. So let's say, for example, shipping. Always let your customers know shipping will take 48 hours. So it gives you time to say, okay, at this point, I'm going to ship this product out, as opposed to kind of saying, yeah, we're going to ship it next day, but you haven't let customers know they might not be that day, same day that they order. So it's just little stuff like that. But you can set parameters, and that only comes from experience.
Yeah.
You can't even learn that from people.
Yeah.
So I've learned that through making mistakes where we've had like a huge amount of orders and we ain't even got the stock.
Oh, right.
You're like, ugh. And you're getting so what it does to your body. But now, learn those mistakes, and that's never happening. That's never happening again. So, yeah, and I pray that doesn't, touch wood.
Yeah, no, that's wow, that's interesting. I think I'll tap into that a little bit later. But no, that's good, and I think exactly as you said, kind of you make of any experience what you effectively want to, right? You can let experiences, as they say, make or break you, isn't it? And it sounds like you very much let them make you. And it might sound weird to a lot of people for you to say, I'm grateful for the fact that I lost money in business, or I'm grateful for the fact that I've
lost a lot of money.
Do you get what I mean?
I've lost a lot of money. I've lost a lot of money, but I've gained so much experience and wisdom from it. So, and I think that it's an amazing trade-off. You know what I mean? You say this thing that everyone values is the reason why I could gain something that will now make me in return even much more of that. And if I lose that, it's gonna, like, I'll become a millionaire. Lose it, I'll become a billionaire. Like, it's just, that's how it works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think if you look at all the greats, the guys that have done it before me, they've all lost millions before they become a billionaire. So it's like, I enjoy that. I embrace it. In Yoruba, we say shit. You know what I mean? That's very important. It's just a gratitude situation I'm in, and that's what my spiritual journey has been about. So yeah.
No, nice. And so, I'll come into the media company as well, actually. Or which one did you start first? Actually, the media
side. I got out. So what happened was, my cousin is a tattoo artist, so that's a business that me and my cousin had. We had a shop in Stratford. Obviously, we're young black kids starting a business. It's tattoos. what we found was that people didn't believe that he tattooed. So that's how me and him, we came out with some money. We bought a camera and I started filming him. We put on I think it was like a tablet or something like that. We all got it from CEX and we showed people like, oh, look at his tattoos. And now the only way people would actually get tattoos from him. I was like, rah. At the time I didn't know that I was communicating with an audience. I was marketing. I didn't understand that at that point. But then after getting better at filming and photography, and that was not the intention. At the time I was doing that, I was in your class. Like we were in the same class. Like
I remember you.
We were at uni, like, and I was just learning it. Then I started getting into music. I wanted to create my own link up TV, SBTV. I didn't realize how hard and demanding it would be to be one person to make 100 videos a year.
Yeah,
it's huge. It's not just making the videos, it's sourcing the talent and then hoping that one of those talents blow and then blows your channel and blah blah blah. It was the issue I found with that was being able to scale it. It was too hard. I probably could have tried harder, but I'm very much a realist that I didn't enjoy anymore. It even made me not really like the music industry anymore. So I got out of that. So then from there, that's how I found a business partner in marketing. And we both kind of had similar vision. I had the skill of creating the content. She had the skill of communicating, copywriting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then we came together and that's how we, our skills complemented each other and that's how we created the marketing agency. So, and then doing that and doing it for companies, I started to realize how much money I could make for businesses. I had business that I worked with that had raised another $1 million after doing their marketing and their content for them. And I realized there was a lot of value in what I do. And I said, what I want to do this time around is invest in myself. I want to take all the marketing, all the stuff that I've done and invest in my own business and like my own business with my name on it and everything. Yeah. So, and that's how Goodman Factory came into play. So,
Nice. And so with the, just quickly actually, with the like the SBTV kind of thing that you mentioned you wanted to do you have a passion for music?
It's a low-hanging fruit. For people that do filming, you'll start to realize like there's a huge demand for video people in music. The only problem is there's not a lot of money in it. So you're almost fighting for scraps.
Yeah.
What I didn't know, obviously, at the time was that a lot of these platforms have a lot of contributors. So it's other videographers putting their stuff on their platform. And I had Malik Visuals, and I was literally the only person putting content. Like I didn't have a second or third or fourth director that was making content and posting. It was just me by myself. And obviously, I didn't know that. That was my naive ignorance. I don't know. But that's why it's like, but I think what I got from all of that was the hard work inside of it, having to use a very slow computer to edit these videos, having to like lose hard drives breaking down, memory cards, investing the money that so I was working a job at the time, investing it to buy cameras, all of these, buying the right cameras, because you want to buy tools and computer stuff that last.
Yeah.
Now I invest a lot more, but these are products I'll probably use for the next 5 years as opposed to something that, like for example, I was buying cameras that were doing 1080p when 4K had started. It would have made sense for me to buy a 4K, but the £300 extra was like, no, like, I'm not doing that. But it would have made more sense because I would have had that camera for a lot longer.
Yeah.
I remember spending £2,000 on a camera, and that camera is the camera I'm still using to this day, and I've used it for 4 years. Do you see what I mean? And I've made my return on that camera years ago.
Yeah.
So it's those things I didn't know. So it was a great experience because I learned all of those things through that. And then I just partnered up with a lot of production companies, learning this skill, not getting paid. Just running around, being on set, even if I knew, pretending like I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Just gaining the knowledge, applying the will, and just saying, okay, cool. The end goal is that I'm going to use this skill somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to use it. At the time, there was no Goodman Factory, so I didn't know I was going to use that skill for it. So I used all of that knowledge now to apply it to Goodman. And there's so much more that's going to come out, if not for COVID. And what the COVID situation has done is breed a lot more opportunities. So, but even not for COVID, there's so much, like documentary wise, there's so much unique Goodman Factory content that's going to be coming out very soon. It's just literally once the restrictions are off, we're going full flight into making content and going hard on it. So,
yeah. No, nice. We'll be staying tuned for that.
Yeah.
No, the only reason I asked about the whether you had a passion for music was where you made the comment about kind of thought it made you, I can't remember your exact words, but kind of start to not like the music industry.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I was kind of,
I didn't realize there was no money in it. That's the thing. I didn't realize there was no money in the music industry like that. I thought that there was just everyone can get rich. You know what I mean? And it's not that you can't. I just was doing it the wrong way. You know what I mean? There's definitely certainly ways you can get rich in the music industry. It just wasn't the way I thought it was. That was already a saturated space. I came in late. So it's almost like I wasn't partaking in the first people to get into it. I was like one of the last people to get into it, and it's like, oh shit. So that's what I think. So I wouldn't even say that I fell out, because I still love music. I love how the business of it, so and so. But I'm trying to be on the side of innovation as opposed to being on the side of trying to do the traditional things and then trying to squeeze milk out of it. Don't make no sense. You can't squeeze blood out of a rock. Like, it's dead, it's dead. There's nothing in it. You know what I mean? And then I got to an age where I was getting older, so I have now financial responsibilities, and that was like a hard pill to swallow. Like, I can't be 23, 24, 25 and expecting not to pay rent and run my business. Like, there has to be a sense of trade-off. I don't come from rich. I don't come from luxury. I had to still pay bills. I still had to give some form of contribution at home before moving out. So, yeah.
Yeah, nah, fair. Because I was thinking kind of towards the reasons people start businesses, if that makes sense. And I think what was coming to mind was kind of the idea of kind of having to have passion in what you do for you to be able to ride out the tough times, right? And talking about why people start businesses, I guess then the media company actually came about through a completely different lens, right? It was more you started something because you saw you had to do something in order to be able to push the service of your cousin doing the tattooing, and then you started to notice that that was working for him. This could work for other people, right?
Yeah.
So on that, then, how did you get to the point where you were like, okay, I've been doing this for my cousin, that's all well and good, but actually, you know what? I'm pretty good at this thing. Let me charge people. How did you come to that realization?
I think the realization was when I was filming, and I think there was one time I was doing something for a UFC fighter, and my pictures and videos were on the Sun.
I swear.
And I was broke. And I was like, wait a minute.
So they didn't...
They didn't charge me because, like, obviously, like, I was just excited to be in the room. You know what I mean? I was just excited to be in the room. It wasn't even a thing where, like, man can say, let me charge you, blah, blah. I'm just excited. UFC? Oh, my gosh, mom. I'll film you guys. But I was broke. You know what I mean? And that didn't make no sense. Like, I can't be running around following people, filming people, blah, blah, and I don't even know how to, you know what I mean? So, like, to make this pay me. So then that's when I had to literally start going to production set, started going into a lot of these independent filmmakers, seeing how people do it. I met up with my guy, and he really kind of taught me the ropes about how to charge from it, because he wasn't in the same position as me, but he was good at sales. And you had to, like, lock people in and stuff like that. So that experience, me being with him, me following him around, seeing how he locks down businesses, how he locks down people, and then seeing how you can do it. Obviously, I don't want to get into the whole details of how it's charged, but once I figured that out, I was like, okay. And then I think ultimately the goal was that, okay, as long as you're serving people, you could warrant whatever fee you want to give them. Like, this is how much I'm charging you. If people think it's valuable, they'll pay it.
Yeah.
And once I realized that, I think my first invoice got paid, and I was like, wow. okay, like I could really make this a life thing. So yeah, and that's what happened.
Yeah, no, nice. And so, so you're still doing that. How long after then? Because we'll touch on Goodman Malik now. Sorry, not Goodman Malik, the Goodman Factory.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that is your story, though, right?
Yeah.
We'll touch on the Goodman Factory, and so how long after the media company was the start of Goodman Malik? So,
I think I still run the Goodman Factory, the media company concurrently.
Yeah,
because I still have clients. Goodman Factory is still growing. Most of the money is still reinvested, so we're not taking, like, we're still scaling the business. We want it to be there's so much more that's going to happen in the future this year as well. So a lot of the money stays in the business and so on. So I still have my private clients that I work with, creating content with regularly, still through the pandemic and editing. So yeah, that's still going on. I will never probably get rid of my my media side, because long term I want to get into filmmaking. Nice. I want to invest a lot of my money into creating my own films, telling my own stories. I have shot a short film, and I'm in the process of editing it. That in itself, I have to will myself to do it, because obviously you get into a point where it's like, okay, I need to get this invoice paid, get this work over the line, and finding a space, time to do it. But the time will be made. Yeah. I'm just being lazy. I'm aware of that. And through saying that I'm lazy, I know now I have to change that and push myself to get it done. But yeah, I want to get into more filmmaking full time. So yeah, there'll be times where I won't get paid, but at least now I got the financial support to do it this time, as opposed to before where I didn't have a business. Yeah. And I was just trying to do filmmaking full time. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. And what is the what's the name of the media company?
Your Attention.
Your Attention.
Yeah. So it's Your Attention. I couldn't get that, so I just put Your Attention.
Your Attention. Yeah.
So it's, the whole thing I learned from working in the marketing agency, that with Your Attention, I'm doing all of this stuff to live rent free in the consumer's mind. And that was like it. So I'm like, Your Attention. That's all this content's about. Nice. I create all this content for Your Attention, because that's going to be the new commodity. I mean, better than Bitcoin, better than anything. It's going to be the new commodity where attention is going to be the price that everyone's paying for. So you need to create abundance of content. So Your Attention.
Nice.
I should promote that more.
Yeah, that's why I asked you what the name is.
I don't. You know what it is? It's because I haven't even done the website. I've just been so focused on Goodman Factory.
Yeah.
But I will do. We plan to hire people this year, so will free me up, and get into that space.
So if somebody, what's kind of like a full range of services that Your Attention provides then, just for people listening who might think, I need someone to
create content for social media. We can do anything. It's more like we want to push the expectations of what our clients want. My current clients, we adapt. We can't do full scale shoot days and stuff like that, so we adapt around it. It's like stuff like Zoom meeting calls, editing it, breaking it down, highlights, stuff like that. Just really we adapt with the times. We could go from creating a full-blown documentary to creating talking head videos at your events, create event videos. We could do live recordings online, social media, podcast studios. I've done a load of podcast studios shoots. But the whole aim of that is just to communicate to your audience. So our whole thing is to communicate with the people that you want to engage with. Yeah. So my business, I would say my business model at the moment is more, it's not straightforward. You know what I mean? It's more like, okay, you present me a problem and I provide you a solution with it. And that's how Your Attention came about. So that's it really. Yeah, it's about engaging with your community. How do you want to go about, like, you tell me how you want, and then I'll present you a solution to make it happen. So yeah.
Nice. Well, guys, you heard it there as well. So if you need any video servicing or anything,
and photography as well.
Photography, videoing.
I did a jewelry shoot not too long. I really loved the pictures. That was fun.
A what?
a jewelry.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I work with a range of different companies, but that's the beauty of being a creative. Now it's like, it's not like before where, like, for example, you have the old school camera operators, like those roles used to exist. When now you're a camera operator, editor, a photographer, a producer, like I put so many hats on. It's like, it's crazy, but I think that's the era we're in now. You can't just say you do one thing anymore. You kind of have to understand that to do this one thing, you need to learn 5 different things. Yeah. Period.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. No, nice. And so we'll skip to last year then.
Yeah.
When you started Goodman Factory. So talk to me about the inception of that. How did you meet your business partner? How did the conversation come about that you were going to start? Because I know you were saying that you always knew you wanted to do a male grooming company.
Yeah.
But how did it go from knowing you wanted to start a male grooming company to finding a business partner, knowing that's the right business partner to go into business with, and then executing on the plan?
Okay. I met my business partner on holiday in Vegas. And for some funny reason, we were just out there. I don't know what happened, but I got left with him and another friend called Ibs. And we ended up spending the whole day together. But we were having like the most enlightening conversation ever. But bear in mind, like, it was the most weirdest moment because it was actually literally meant to be, like, that moment. But nothing happened. This was like 4 years ago. But we stayed in contact. We still kept on talking, so and so. And then he kind of told me an inkling of it. Bear in mind, then I think I'd set up my Instagram Malik Beard because that was the only thing. Malik wasn't available, so I put the beard at it and so on. So, but then I literally started getting men DMing me saying, "Oh, like, what do you put in your beard? Like, raw, like, how do you have like such a full beard?" So and so and so. And to be honest, I genuinely don't even believe I have the greatest of beards. Like, I hardly. Get me, what I do is apply that Goodman beard oil and that's it. Like, it's there's no extreme to it. Obviously, genetics do play a part. But yeah, and I was like, okay, cool. I had my own concoction that I remixed and made by myself. But then I was like, I tried his one and I was like, rah, this is sick. Like, what are you saying? Are you trying to sell this? Da 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 da. Like, boom.
Oh, so your business partner also was making his own?
Yeah, he was making his own. But I think, like, this is why, like, it's good to have business partners. I think, like, it's always good to have a business partner if you lack a certain skill. Like, if there's a skill side of you that doesn't make sense, like, okay, it's a thing where it's like, he didn't have certain skills I didn't have, and I'm not great at the skills that he has. And together, it would be a real good job, but it's lowering our egos and saying, let's make it happen type of thing, and kind of let's go into partnership. So we tried to a year before the inception of Goodman, but like I said, a lot of talk, no action. I think obviously both of us were in 2 different spaces, so on and so. But then the time when we decided to commit to it was like, yeah, and we really, I think that was the first time I really put myself under a serious timeline. So it was like, from when we decided, I think 2 months, the business was ready.
Really?
Products, everything.
Wow.
The products weren't exactly ready, but we were ready to launch and take pre-orders, and that's how we started it, and that was pretty successful because, know that meme where people are like, at the beginning of the business, everyone's supporting you and da 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 da, and that's literally what happened to us. Everyone supported us. We, you know what I mean, sold out this, you know what I mean, like, it was a beautiful start. But then reality hit the fan, and then it was a thing where we had to start selling to people we didn't know.
Yeah.
We had to find a community we didn't know. We had to find people that had users, people that don't know nothing. We had to educate a whole new market. We had to teach people. We had to sell the product, and that was the real journey. Starting it was probably, I'll say, easy. You get used to starting businesses once you know the legal sides of it. It's not really difficult to do the trademark, all of that stuff. It's not. But then selling your product,
that's
convincing convincing people that your product is better than others. Yeah, I mean, that was the hard bit. and that had its real journeys. And yeah, that's how we got to this stage of last year. And last year had its ups and downs. So yeah.
I guess the interesting thing about what you just said is like naturally, I think a lot of people are quite anxious or apprehensive when it comes to sales because they don't necessarily think they've got great selling skills, for example, right? The one thing I find interesting about what you just said is because all someone has to do is look at your beard, bro, and they ask, "Oh, how did you get that?" Oh,
Yeah.
the Goodman beard oil. Surely that sells
So
yourself.
this is I'm a big fan of conscious capitalism. It's very important that we tell the truth. I know genetically, even though my dad didn't have a beard, like a contribution to my beard is because of genetics. Now, we preach about maintenance and self-care, you know what I mean? And it's not like in taking care of yourself, I think your body will achieve and give you the best results. So it's like, it doesn't, if you don't eat McDonald's, it doesn't guarantee you're going to perform well. But if you ate healthier and did the same thing, it gives you the better chances.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that, I'm sure LeBron James still eats bad food. He eats tacos, whatever. You get what I mean? Like, diet won't necessarily, the same with beard oil. Like, beard oil will help you maintain it, give yourself the best chances for it to grow, stimulate growth, all of those things. But I can't turn around and say, yeah, my beard oil will make your beard grow. I wish I could, but then that will come with its lawsuits and so and so. So it's very important that, you know, you be very transparent and what you could honest with your customers, and that's how I think we built our community through that honesty. No one had, and that's what I said earlier about managing expectations. People kind of sometimes when they get into sales is start overselling or try to say things that don't exist. We've said everything that really truly exists. Yeah. To the point where now we're pushing to the side of, okay, cool. Even if you're trying to go on this journey of taking care of yourself, you also have to consider the inside, and that's why we have the internal side of the podcast and the educational side. So we have an educational post that we post and so on. So as opposed to it just being about aesthetics and looks and so on. So because if you don't have that balance, you become very like you base your life on vanity metrics and so on. So whereas I have the balance where you're good inside, because I'm a very peaceful person. I don't try and engage in negativity. I don't argue. Maybe it's to my detriment. I've almost at this point where it's like, if you feel a way about me, I'm not going to even try to convince you anymore, because that will take too much from me. I try not to get onto people. I try to be very honest with people. This is what I want. This is what I don't want. And that's kind of what I'm trying to communicate through the business. So yeah, like that's very important that we just kept it 100 as opposed to me just saying, yeah, I've got to be here. Buy my product at goodmanfactory.com. Like, nah, I don't want to do that. So,
yeah. No, fair. And so what tips have you got for someone like me then, aside from obviously copping the oil, using that? Because bro, I've been trying to grow this thing for 29 years now, bro.
I think ultimately be happy with how it is. Be happy with yourself. I know.
What was the Ricky Rose, bro? What's going on?
I know we all want this and that, but I think you have to love yourself. I know. I understand this life is not fair. Get me? There's things about yourself that you have that I probably desire, and there's stuff about me that you might desire. And actually embrace and love yourself. I think that will send off good signals around your human body to encourage whatever you desire. Maybe the beard is not for you now. Maybe it's for you when you're 40. But when the time comes, be ready. You know what I mean? Goodman Factory will be there to help you, assist you in that journey. But I think ultimately, I won't even try give you any technical sides to it. I'll say, okay, drink a lot of water. Make sure you sleep. Make sure you rest. Make sure you're having your vitamins. You know what I mean? If the stuff you put inside is what comes out. Remember, like, the beard, hair is a reflection of what the internal side, you know what I mean? So try have a good diet. Try find peace. Try drink a lot of water. Mind your own business. And yeah, like those are the things I could say practically. Obviously, apply Goodman beard oil. Every morning. After you've showered. Obviously, co-wash. Don't wash your beard like thoroughly because you'll just dry the hell out of it. You know what I mean? So It's all about retaining moisture in your beard throughout the day, so you could have a nice soft beard through the day. And obviously, our products smell very good, so the ladies will love you for it. So just selling it now. Shameless plug. But yeah, I think overall, number one first thing you need to do is accept yourself. Love who you are. I got a big head. I'm bald. My hairline's completely gone. I got. You know what I mean? There's so much, but I love every part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that I've accepted it. There's nothing I can do about it. And I think ultimately, you find peace. I think everything that you desire will come. It will come. I'm a firm believer of manifestation. I'm a big spiritual person, so I know. Yeah, as long as you have patience, peace, you know what I mean, love, light, you know what I mean, in your heart, then negativity will come and you just laugh at it. Like, I'm at this point when people try, like, bring negativity, I'm just like, what else?
Yeah.
The devil tried again.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like that. That's good. That's good. Well, damn man, I wanted this. We'll talk off air. We'll talk off air.
Oh, you wanted that? Oh,
No,
I don't want to lie to you, innit? You know what I mean? Like,
also, you were meant to go.
And this is why we're doing other products, because we need to cater for all men. Obviously, our segue was beards.
Yeah.
But we got the face oil coming out. We've got the creams coming out. We've got the whole scrubs. All of that. We're now, like, we know that, okay, there's a market for this. We're now expanding. So we've got a lot of things coming out that will... It's not just about the beards. You just need to take care of yourself, love yourself. You know what I mean? You have to cream yourself, hydrate your skin. All of these things need to be involved. So, like, I think people sometimes focus too much on the little things, but it's like, take care of yourself and everything will fall up.
To be fair, that's actually something I very much believe. Because recently I've been focusing on things like sorting out having more discipline and good habits.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you can sort out those two things in your life, have good discipline and good habits, everything else falls into place.
Yeah.
And so I'm very much a believer of taking care of the small things for the kind of the bigger picture.
Yeah.
So, I like that.
I saw a post where someone said that if you can discipline sex and your diet, you've clocked this life, and it allows you to kind of get you into another space in the sense of how limitless life can be, because obviously there's a lot of distractions, and what you're trying to do is, as you get older, be focused on one thing, one goal, one divine energy. Like, you just want to be more focused. Well, as you're young, you have abundance of energy but no focus. As you get older, you don't have as much. Well, it's not. I think the self-belief for how much energy you have. So, like, I could say, yeah, you know what, I want to do 16 hours every single day. I know I'm going to burn out at some point. So, you know what, let me do 8 hours and focus on one thing. So the multiplier is huge, as opposed to trying to do 5 different things and give all my energy to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if I try I'm just going to burn out. So I think if you could discipline the stuff like food, and so that means try your best to eat right. Now, anyone that knows me watching this, food is something I don't compromise on. I've been vegan. I fast a lot, but when I want a steak, I want a steak.
Yeah.
When I want lobster, I want lobster.
Yeah.
That's just how I'm. I'm not. I'm the type of person that I'm not working this hard to now worry about those things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where my bar is really low. Like, in that sense, like, as long as I could eat, I've got a nice house. You know what I mean? In the future, family and kids and so on. So I'm not. I don't know. Like, maybe my my appetite will get bigger, but yeah, like, I'm pretty, like, happy with what I have now. And I just want to make that very easy where I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nah, nice. And so, a couple questions surrounding your products. What products are you currently selling?
Okay. Yeah, I sold them online. What do you mean? Oh, we have.
What do you actually stock?
So we have 2 capsules. We have the beard oil and brush, and beard oil and comb. They're for 2 different stages. Obviously, some beards are very soft, and small. So they will use the brush, and obviously for the big boys, you know what I mean? They'll use the comb and so on. So, but we always encourage people to use what they want as well. So you can just buy the beard oil on its own. We have the face oil that's coming out. God willing, I'm saying the end of this month, beginning of next month. I know we're starting the content creation very soon. So yeah, we're in the process of that. So at the moment we have, I'll say, 2 main products. That's probably my aim is by the end of the year, we're gonna have 5, 6. We've kept it small because we want to make sure that we give every product the same attention.
Yeah.
So everyone knows the value of using our products as opposed to it being half-hearted about it. You know what I mean? That's the reason why when we did the face oil the first time, it was literally a trial one. It was to see, okay, do our community, do they want it? And it said yes. So it was now making sure we had the right formula, going to the chemist, making sure what do you keep forgetting her name? Person that mixes it to get the right formula and, you know, putting it into place. So yeah.
Nice.
We've got a lot of stuff coming about. At the moment, we've only got the beard oil, and that's in stock. And yeah.
And the brush and the
comb. And it's all packed in. So you could either buy it together or buy it as a trio or buy it as a double. Whatever works for you.
Like a little mix and match situation.
Yeah, mix and match situation. Some people like buying the trio because with the trio, what happens is your beard grows bigger, you've got the brush, then you can go on to using the comb. Our comb is made out of wood. It creates less static, so then there's less chance of breakage. Yes, as men, we get breakage in our hair, and that stuff happens to affect the growth of it. So sometimes when, like, for example, if your beard ain't growing, it's probably because you haven't cut the split ends. So that's why we sell wooden combs. So it discourages the chances of that. And that then gives your barber less work to do, because what happens more time is the barber just cuts the ends off because they're so light and it's all broken hair. But once you cut that and put it into space, then you have a thicker and fuller beard. When I used to grow my beard the first time, I'd literally have the first 3 inches thick, and then there'll be bare straddle hairs. Cut all of that off. Cut all of that. You don't need any of that. That won't encourage growth. What encourages is a uniform, well taken care of beard, as opposed to having the extended. Like, I could have an extended version of my beard here, but
that's how mine would grow. If I just grow it on my chin.
Yeah, this part here don't make no sense. Cut that off. Be patient, drink your water, have your vitamins, eat well, sleep, rest.
Mind your business.
Mind your business, and it'll grow. So yeah.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so you just touched on something I wanted to ask about, actually, in terms of kind of getting the formulas, etc. Yeah. But before we get onto that, nice little segue, seeing as we were talking about products. It actually turns out, I think, that the people have a discount code that they can use.
Yes, they do.
Oh, look at that.
Yes, they do.
Guys.
Yes, they do. Exclusive to the Blackprint.
Secure my first sponsor, guys. Look at that. Yes. Oh my God.
This sponsorship, this episode is... Look at me fumbling.
Look at that. This guys, got my first sponsorship. Look at that. Goodman Factory have kindly agreed to give our listeners a discount code. So if you're on the market, ladies, if you're listening and your guy's got a beard or he doesn't have a beard and you want him to grow that beard, guys, if you want to maintain your beard, you know, all that good stuff, then head over to the Goodman Factory or goodmanfactory.com. I like putting there in front of it. I know that's not the name, so I apologize.
Goodman Factory.
Goodmanfactory.com. Yeah. Put all that stuff in your basket, and on checkout, enter code TBP, which stands for I have another podcast I was about to actually. I'm so used
to fumbling the bag, big fella.
Honestly, it's peak. It's peak. Yeah. No, you know why? Because I'm used to doing the acronyms for that one.
Okay.
So and it starts with T and it's got B and P in it as well, actually.
Wow. Oh, wow.
So head over to goodmanfactory.com. Put all that stuff in your basket. At checkout, enter code TBP, which stands for the Blackprint Pod, so you won't forget it. Yeah. TBP21 for a nice little exclusive 15% off.
Perfect.
Oh, wow, guys. We're coming up here, man.
We gotta take care of ourselves, man. We gotta take care of our people as well.
Well, I mean, thank you for that opportunity. Yeah. And cool. So let's get back to regular transmission.
Back to regular promo.
So yeah, I was going to ask you about the kind of, because obviously with these types of products, it's obviously mixtures of this and that and rare, right? How did you? Because particularly you were saying you were trying to make your own one. Your business partner Riz was trying to make his own one. How did you get to a point where you're like, yeah, this is we can push this out?
It's a lot of education needed. You have to do the research. Those are the things that I always say to people. Those are the things you don't want to do. I'd like to just get a product and sell it. I understand why people go the white labeling route, but we wanted something we knew is really good. Not that we've tried it and so on. We actually know all our products are organic, vegan, all natural, no synthetics, nothing. It's a natural product. So we don't have the worries of, obviously our products don't have anything to do with nuts and so on. So, but we made sure it was completely natural with the oils, organic, and everything is sourced from like sustainable places, you know what I mean? But when it comes to knowing what works, I think you just have to educate yourself. There's a lot of information, and this is why it's such a beautiful time to be alive, because I didn't have to go to school for this. I could go on the internet, literally spend hours and hours and hours and hours, educate myself, create the product myself, trial it with people myself, trial it with people I know that might ask, then go to a person that formulates this and say, this is boom, boom, boom. They can now give me the information, but going there blind and going there with some knowledge makes a big difference.
Yeah.
What you don't want to happen is you go to places like that and you don't know what you're talking about. They'll just swindle you and give you a white label product, something they give to someone else. Our product is very unique to us. You can't find our formula anywhere. So, like, those things is in abundance, and I'm kind of happy that we're in the internet era where man could just go on the internet and see the components of our products and see how it benefits your facial hair.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the stage we're at. So that's how it came about product-wise.
Nice. And so, so talk to me about, because obviously you mentioned earlier that you launched and there was kind of a almost false level of demand at the time, because as you said, kind of when you begin, everybody wants to support and it's all great. And then when push comes to shove and they finish the first pack or whatever, they realized they were just kind of supporting as opposed to actually needing the product. How did you kind of overcome that to get to kind of get that level of demand and sales to a point that you were happy with? And also talk to me about what you touched on earlier about kind of the you had the demand and no stock at that point. What happened there?
Okay, so I'll say our biggest lesson was last year when the Black Pound Day happened. And that was an amazing day. Like, I really think, I'll even take this moment to say thank you to everyone that supported us during that time. It was like anxiety, happiness, like everything all bundled into one moment. We sold everything out. It had orders up to my head. I'm 6'3". Like, it was an amazing day. Cool. The decisions we made after that moment, I'd say, was the best lessons we learned, in the sense of learning how to manage your stock levels and so on. So we've never had that problem because things were steadily growing.
Yeah.
That boost in sales was mad. Like, we're talking about 2,000%.
Wow.
Yeah, like, it was just nothing got heard of. Like, it took us from like mouth to, you know what I mean, just slow to boom. Well, like, in our head, we didn't let it get to us, but we did because the decisions we made. So we made a massive order the next month. So next Black Pound Day came, and the energy wasn't, I'll say it's about 50%, but I've got 1,000% of the stock that I've got now. And I'm like, wait, what? Wait, hey guys, we're still here. So, and then what that did is, that's where the innovation in the content side had to kind of step up, because you can't be a company that makes this money but doesn't have this type of level. So then we had to take real sacrifices, started to really use our money to make content, use our money to do advertising, all of those things that we probably wasn't doing then. And that's why it was an amazing journey. At the time, I was like, I've I've not paid myself this month, everything just to make a massive order for nobody to want it anymore. Like, it's not even that people didn't want it. We're all still learning about our customers and how long. We knew beforehand, but we kind of realized that we still needed to find new customers all the time.
Yeah.
But we also understand that if you buy the build order today, it'll take you about 2 to 3 months before you finish it. The average guy. The knock-on effect didn't happen till we're in September.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think Black Pound Day, I think it was June. It was during the summer anyway. I remember it was an amazing time. But yeah, it was during that time. So the knock-on effect, we wouldn't get it till like 2-3 months later. But by then we had built such a strong portfolio of content. We were creating content weekly. We were just making videos. It made us meet the demand of what we wanted to sell. And it drove innovation very high. So like, it was a good problem, but yeah, I think that was one of the massive challenges. And at the time was scary, but like, I'm really happy that happened, because what we learned from is, okay, cool, we need to create content abundance. It wasn't good enough to just post once or twice a week. Now we're posting twice a day, 3 times a day, sometimes 4. Like, you might just get, but we needed to live in our consumer minds rent free. And to the point where then we wanted our customers to talk about us. So that our second-hand sales were growing, where, oh yeah, my bedroom said they're good. Oh yeah, someone's talking about Goodman Factory. Yeah, that's why I said, let me try it out. Boom, boom. And then it's like, we know, okay, if 1,000 people buy it, we know at least 100 people will come back, or 200 or 300 people will come back. And then we can now convert them into becoming subscription holders. So people will now subscribe to buying our beard oil, so and so. So yeah, and that's it. I even forgot what your questions was. I just feel like I've gone. I hope I've hit the answer, and I don't know where I've gone now.
I know one of my questions was about I think you said the opposite to what just now, because earlier, maybe I misheard actually. I think you said something about having orders but no stock to service those orders.
Oh, so no, that was more the beginning stage. So I'm talking about the in-between stage.
Yeah.
At the beginning was purely, we did it. So I spoke to one of my mates, Young Bogus Boy. I won't say his name, but Young Bogus Boy. He drops a lot of gems on branding and marketing, and even just handling business. And he said, like, why would you waste people's attention? What people tend to do is promote something that's not there. So if those people are really serious, why can't you take their money? If you're serious about your product, why can't you take their money now and fulfill delivery? But what? And when he said that to me, I was like, okay, cool. And I think that like made me a lot of money, and also held me very much accountable. Yeah. So shout out to Young Bogus Boy. He gave me that gem, and that literally helped us start the business. He gave us finance beforehand, so then allowed us to get bigger stock, because obviously you probably know, the more you order, the margins go bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And you want that margin is your bread and butter. Yeah. The bigger the margin, the more valuable you are, the more you can do. You know what I mean? And yeah, so that's why we did that at the beginning. It was scary because, like, you know how the internet is. Yeah. But that's where communication comes into play. Communicate with you. Make it clear it's a pre-order. Yeah. Don't put it in the little disclaimer. Big sign, pre-order, because you'll have customers that will be very malicious and be like, yeah, I ordered it, and try ruin your reputation. Try protect it as much. Obviously, you can't have a 99. There's always going to be one that's not happy with your customer service. Yeah. Understand that. Try your best to make that 1% happy. But generally, communicate, be clear with who you're selling to. Let them know what the process is. Yeah. And update them. We emailed them. We let them know this is the stage we're at, so and so. And yeah, it worked. So yeah. Nice. We don't do that so much more now, though. I wouldn't do that now. Really? I think it's not worth the anxiety. It's not worth it. It's not worth my peace. I like you ordering and knowing I have the stock in the warehouse. Yeah.
Nah, fair. And actually, just quickly, because you just mentioned, you just mentioned a buzzword that made me think about that side of things. Actually, customer service.
Yeah.
So all that kind of backroom stuff, like those backroom activities, should I say? Do you handle all of that?
So the beautiful thing about technology now is everything's automated. You only need to make the email once.
Yeah.
You only need to you only need to do the process once, and then you're just leveraging it 100 gazillion times, as much as how many customers you get.
Yeah.
And that in itself, an automated message communicates what the company would say to you anyway.
Yeah.
There's a level of consistency in your customer service, and it could always be changed. So I think fundamentally what I looked at was, how would a customer feel if things are delayed? How would a customer want to be? How much does the customer need to know before they purchase the product? And also, what would be the after experience of it? So making sure you have pamphlets that give clear instructions to how to use the product, making them aware about the other products we have. Also, there's the entertainment side, so you can listen to our podcast, listen to our YouTube channel, watch our YouTube channel, all of those things. Those are part of the customer experience. Making sure you take time to reply to people. People ask you questions. If you can't answer the questions in the DMs, make sure you give them an alternative, like your email. All of those things, the customer experience, because everything's mobile. We made majority of our money in lockdown. We didn't make it when everything was open. We made it in lockdown because people were at home. And what we needed to make sure was that if you did go into a Goodman Factory store, what would it be like converted online? And we tried to aim to get the similarities. It's hard because obviously it's only two of us, but what internet and technology has allowed us to do is leverage good ways to do it. So if you have an automate, make sure it's a good message. If you're gonna email, I could email. I don't need to email people at one by one. I could email people at mass about products and what we're doing. So yeah, like those things really do play a good part.
Nice. And you see your aesthetics, your visuals.
Yeah.
Do you do them?
Yeah, I do all of it.
The visuals, the aesthetics, the kind of, even from the palette of colors to even the look, like everything is slick. Like, I like it a lot.
A lot of it I've learned along the way. I've constantly aimed to improve. But it's the little stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you. I never panned out to do photography. It was an opportunity that presented itself. At the time, it was because of money. But then, like I said, I didn't want to do photography for money. It wasn't enjoyable. I still do it, but I have the balance now that I could do passion projects. So I could do a passion shoot with men on my platform. Yeah, that's the part that allows me now to do it for money, as opposed to if it was just solely for money, I probably wouldn't do photography. Yeah, you know what I mean. And inherently, because of repetition and keep doing it, I've just got better at it.
Right, because even right now we're in the obviously the studio that you use for your podcast.
We use this.
I guarantee my visuals
here anymore. Actually, we found a new space.
Oh, you're moving?
Yeah, man.
Bro, I specifically came here because I wanted to get I wanted you to feel comfortable at home.
This place is amazing, but
that's a nice spot.
I love challenges, and I like. You know what happens a lot of the time is people copy, and I embrace copying because it's literally a signal that I'm doing something right. Yeah. But now we're changing it up. So the next location,
allow me to reintroduce myself.
Yeah, you're gonna have to see how it's going. We're changing the format of it. But we've got the audience, we've got our community. Even though it's not as huge as we want it to be, we embrace that, and we're trying to give our people that are in our community the best experience. So what we're gonna change it to, like, people are gonna really love it. So yeah.
Oh, nice. I look forward to that. I look forward to seeing that. Because I was gonna say, even though we're in the same studio that you use, I mean, I guarantee my visuals don't look the same as yours. There'll be something different about yours. That's just like,
hey, you have to be obsessed. You have to really, really be obsessed with this content creation world.
Oh it's not.
And, you have to be very obsessed.
It's not easy, man.
I didn't realize how abnormal my obsession is for content. It's not normal to do it, but I guess that's what has got me to this stage now. Yeah. I listened to a tune called C-Biz Obsession, and listened to that tune on room, and I just think about how even when you're in certain spaces, you want to always elevate, and people might not understand it, but I think in the next 5 years, people will understand what I've been trying to do and what I am doing now. So
Nice. Oh well, I think we might have to start wrapping up because.
How long has it been?
We've been recording for 1:20, but we've got 15 minutes left before we get kicked out of here.
You've done well, like it's hard to get me talking for this long, honestly. So you have to take props. Like you're an amazing interviewer.
Oh, bro, I appreciate that.
You know how to pick my brain very well. But I don't give a lot of people my time. But I'm happy to know you. Even from the first day we met, I still remember how we met in uni, and after you were just this person. I was so full, and I was like, who's this black brother that just has so abundance of energy? But obviously, I was still going through a phase, so I was just like, I was still trying to be cool, and I just look at this guy like, yeah, man, the group task you're in. I'm just looking like this guy doesn't chill. Like this guy's like a super, I'm just thinking, what? Like wow, okay. This is different, but you taught me something, and it was like I love the fact how comfortable you were in yourself. You didn't play to any stereotypes. You didn't try and be bad. You didn't try and be any of these negative constructs. And I had to go through that re-education in my own personal life, where I was a nerd at the beginning, and I tried to fit into society and be cool. And then become a nerd again. It's the cycle of life, right?
Yeah.
But I'm happy I'm at this stage of my life now. And yeah, seeing you definitely inspired me.
I appreciate that.
I was like, wow, you don't need to be tough. Oh, okay, cool. You can be bubbly, you can be open, you can talk, you know what I mean? And yeah, man, I think it's amazing what you're trying to do. So, man, you've done an amazing job, man.
I appreciate it.
I look forward to seeing this episode and many more.
Bro, no, that really means a lot, man.
Yeah, no,
I do appreciate that. Wow, boy. Well, what an episode!
Yeah,
what an episode! All right, let me wrap up with my usual kind of last few questions. Or before I do that, actually, let me just ask you. So, 1 year of Goodman Factory.
Yeah,
how's it been? The journey. Obviously, we've had COVID over the last year. Has it been? You've enjoyed it. You loved it.
Beautiful. It's been amazing. I feel like I'm in a very romantic relationship with my business, with myself as well. So,
nice.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
That's good. I think that's the important thing, man. Waking up and enjoying what you do, having a passion for it. I think that's what
I've shifted. It's just shifting it. Don't be fooled. I'm letting everyone know there's a lot of bad things that have happened in the course of the year. I've just not allowed it to define me at all.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff that's happened.
Yeah.
But I'm not lending my energy to that anymore. No, I've stopped that. I stopped that a while ago. And now it's just positivity. No weapon formed against me shall prosper.
Amen. Nice. All right, cool. Now I'll give you my kind of final two questions then. So the first one being, what advice would you have for the aspiring entrepreneur, business owner, wants to get into business for themselves? What would you say to them?
Take that risk. Take that risk is very important. You need to take that risk. I know, and take that risk and have faith in what you see for yourself. Have faith in that view. Have faith. I have I know where I'm gonna be in the future. When it comes is when I'm ready. So I know that if I haven't achieved it now because I'm not ready for it. So that means there's so much that's still going to happen. So many amazing things are going to happen for me to be ready for that moment. So I'll say take that risk and have faith and be patient. You know what I mean? Be patient enough for it to happen. So I think those three things. Always hold your light. Don't take yourself too seriously. You know what I mean? Be fluid. You're just going to change. I'm not the same man I was when you first met me in uni. I'm a completely different person. I probably would cringe at that guy now. You know what I mean? But it's real talk.
Boot cuts and that, yeah?
100%. I wear boot cuts now. I think then was more the designer era where Gucci and all that bullshit crap.
It wasn't like a Visa and stuff like that around them times as well, innit?
True Religions and all of that. That guy that needed all those things to define him. I don't need that anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'll say, just focus. You know what I mean? Give every little task your best shot. You know what I mean? Small tasks. Honestly, you do the small things great. You know what I mean? Take time to write that caption. Don't make it a be all. I think speed is very important. You have to be very fast.
Yeah.
I'll tell you now, go on Goodman Factory, there's spelling errors. You know what I mean? I make mistakes. But what I don't do is get bummed out because of one post. Make sure the next post doesn't look so bad. And if I do, I'll keep trying to improve until, and that's what it is. It's just how can I outdo the last post?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if I can't, I'm not going to waste any time on thinking of it. Just post.
Yeah.
Post. You don't know who you're connecting with. And sometimes it might not be a post for everybody. It might just be for one specific person. And then also remember, like, this whole thing is about converting people to buy a product. You know what I mean? Don't get caught up in number game. Like, I know our impact is has exceeded what our actual following is. So I know we reach more people than the people following, and that's good.
Yeah.
Like that's how it should be. Like, I'm not concerned about how many followers. That will come in time. You know what I mean? But as long as I could impact someone and so on and so on, and someone can say, yeah, you know, I watched this and it helped me. That's it. Only one person. That's all I need. And with the internet, what it's allowed me is to multiply that one person to X amount of people listening to our podcast or buying our products, and women buying it for their husbands and encouraging their husbands to take care of themselves so they could be the best version as a husband to their wives. All of that, as boyfriends, partners, whatever in general, you know what I mean? So, yeah, like, just, and always aim to serve people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my last one. Always aim to serve people.
Nice. And finally, what does success mean to you?
What is success to me? That's a very hard one, mate. It comes in I think for me now will be serving my people. That's success. I think every DM we get about our podcast, every DM we get about our product is a sign of success. And that's why it's mad, because you would think because of how much we sold or so and so, like, that's not really. If you buy my products and it doesn't actually help your life, I'm not going to be totally happy, like, oh, yeah, you gave me money, but I want you to say, okay, yeah, I've used this product and it's changed the way I've looked at myself and how I do things, my morning routine, how I deal with my facial hair. That's what I want. So serving my people is very important for me. That's a good indication for success. Yeah, I think serving my people at the moment would be the number one, and then being peaceful. Just remaining as peaceful as possible all the time. And yeah, that's why I meditate all the time. So yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah, I think we've got 5 minutes till we get kicked the hell out of here. So I'll wrap it up. Well, thank you very much for rejoining me to have this conversation again. Although I think there were some new things in there today.
Yeah.
So
we talked for a lot longer than
we did talk for longer than last time. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
credit to you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think I've got a little bit more experience since the last time now. Just a little bit.
You're sick at this.
No, I appreciate that, man. So yeah, cool. Well, Malik, I wish you all the best with the Goodman Factory, with your tension. Yeah, I remember the name of your tension. Before we do sign off though, please, if you could let the people know where they can find you, what social media platforms you're on.
Sweet. Yeah, you can follow me on all platforms, Malik Beard. But make sure you follow Goodman Factory on all platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. And yeah, like, I'm not really concerned about following myself, but follow Goodman Factory. There's where all the gems are going to be. I don't really post that often. I'm just a funny person on my Instagram. Bit of a neek.
You got some funny things.
I might do this today, be politician tomorrow, love guy. I'm random. So follow Goodman Factory. We've got so much content coming out, and I look forward to you lot seeing it. So yeah.
Nice. And I'm going to hold you to the tech review channel.
I'll probably do that on the Malik Beard thing. So
fair.
Yeah, I'll probably do that. Start doing tech reviews.
Nice. I'll be looking forward to that. Well, bro.
Don't know, my guy.
Thank you very much once again, guys. That's it. Another episode in the bag. Goodman Malik joining us again to tell us his story through how he got to where he is today in terms of his two businesses, Your Tension and Goodman Factory. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend as grow the Blackprint community and the Goodman community. So also make sure you head over there check out what he's up to and what the boys over at Goodman Factory are doing. Also remember, got my first sponsor, didn't I? Guys, if you're in the market, ladies, if you're in the market for your man, guys, if you're in the market for yourself, your friend, whoever, make sure you head over to the website, goodmanfactory.com, put whatever it is you need in your basket, and type in that discount code, 15% off exclusive for the Blackprint listeners. TBP21. That's the discount code, TBP21. Right, guys, I've been your host, Darren. This has been another installment of the Blackprint. Peace.